I'm Jake Roberts, just an ordinary man trying to navigate a world filled with extraordinary expectations. I've built a life that many envy, a stable job, a loving family, and a beautiful wife. I never imagined that everything could unravel in a single day. One evening in San Francisco, after an important meeting, I was dining at an upscale restaurant when my phone rang. It was Rachel. I could tell immediately something was off. Her voice carried the background hum of a busy party, laughter and chatter, not the quiet of our familiar hotel room. "Jake, you don't remember, do you? Today is the day I'm on a business trip to L.A., she began, her tone light yet hurried. I tried to piece together the dissonance in her voice. "Where are you?" I asked, anxiety creeping up inside me. "I'm at a party with some industry friends," she replied. Then came the words that made my heart sink. "We met a famous TV star. He came to our table, and he wants me to use what we talked about, a hall pass." The phrase hit me like an alarm bell. What had once been a whimsical, unthinkable idea between us, a mere fantasy discussed in passing, was now a reality. "Rachel, are you serious?" I managed to ask, my voice tight with disbelief. But her response was even more shocking. "I'm not kidding, Jake. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I want to try it." In that moment, everything we had built together seemed to crumble. I recalled the times we vowed never to hurt each other, how fidelity was a cornerstone of our marriage. Yet now, the person I loved was casually using an idea we once laughed about as an excuse for a thrill. I couldn't hide the tension in my voice as I pleaded, "You can't do this to me, Rachel." After our call ended, I spent a sleepless night haunted by her messages and the unbearable reality of her actions. The following morning, desperate for clarity, I reached out to Jack, a close friend who was with her on the trip. His hesitant confession confirmed my worst fears. Rachel was indeed with none other than Chris Knight, the TV star we'd only seen in the press. Fury and heartbreak surged within me. I decided that I could no longer be left in the dark. That evening, I set up a camera in the living room, determined to face the truth head-on. Every minute felt like an eternity until, finally, the door opened. Rachel entered with a smile that quickly faded when she saw me waiting. "Jake, what's wrong?" "What happened?" she asked, her tone shifting as I stared into her eyes. "Why did you do this, Rachel?" I demanded, my voice cold and unyielding. For a long moment, she hesitated before forcing a smile and replying, "I just thought, this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance." Her words stung deeply. In that instant, she stepped forward to take my hand, as if trying to bridge an ever-widening chasm. I pulled away. "Don't do this. You're not just living out some wild fantasy. You're betraying everything we vowed to hold sacred. Fidelity isn't just a word, it's our bond." Then came her confession, soft and trembling. "You don't understand, Jake. I felt so neglected. Your work always comes first, and I felt unimportant for years." Those words hit me harder than betrayal itself, forcing me to confront a painful truth. I had been blind to her loneliness. As I looked into her eyes, I no longer saw the woman I loved. Instead, I saw a stranger who had let a fleeting moment of excitement destroy everything we had built. The room was filled with an unbearable silence, a testament to a trust shattered beyond repair. I had been so consumed by my own ambitions that I hadn't noticed how Rachel had slowly drifted away from me. But even that could never justify her betrayal. "How many more words will you use to justify this?" I interrupted, my voice growing colder. "You've hurt me. You've hurt this family. And you think I can just forgive you?" Rachel flinched at my words. For a moment, she was silent. Then her eyes welled up with tears. "Jake, I love you. I don't want to lose you." "Really?" I almost shouted. "Did you love me when you slept with another man? Did you think about our family? About me? About our children?" My questions came like a storm, tearing apart whatever was left of our relationship. And in that moment, I knew we couldn't go back, no matter how much we wanted to. That night, I couldn't sleep. Images of Rachel and Chris replayed in my mind like a haunting film. My body was exhausted, but my thoughts wouldn't rest. I needed clarity. I couldn't live in this deceit any longer. The next morning, I made a decision. I reached out to an old friend, Max, a skilled lawyer who had helped me through tough situations before. If I was going to do this, I needed to do it right. When I walked into Max's office, he looked at me with understanding in his eyes. "Jake, what's going on? You don't look so good." I sat down, tossing my phone onto the table. "I need help. I need a divorce." Max studied me for a moment before asking, "What happened?" "I found out my wife betrayed me. She was with a TV star, and I need proof," I said, my voice heavy with disappointment. "I won't sit back and let this slide." Max nodded, thinking for a moment. Then he said, "I'll help you, but you need to prepare yourself. Rachel won't just accept losing everything. She'll fight." The next day, Max called me. He had found crucial evidence that could change everything. But I knew Rachel wouldn't go down without a fight. When we faced each other in court, the tension in the room was suffocating. Rachel sat across from me, her lawyer exuding confidence. "You have no concrete evidence," her lawyer argued. "This is all just emotional speculation." I didn't respond right away. My mind was flooded with memories. Rachel's lies, her calls, her secret meetings. I had proof, but I couldn't let my emotions take control. Then Max stood up. He presented the evidence. A video call where Rachel openly admitted her relationship with Chris Knight. The courtroom fell silent. Rachel's expression turned frantic. "This isn't possible," she stammered, standing up, her voice shaking. "You can't do this." But Max wasn't finished. He laid out more proof, messages, pictures, and even a signed photo from Chris to Rachel. The truth was undeniable. When the trial ended, I felt drained. This wasn't just a battle over property or custody. It was a battle with emotions, with memories of a love that had shattered beyond repair. When I got home, the house felt different. Empty. Rachel was gone. No note, no call, just silence. I didn't know where she had gone or what she would do next. But I knew one thing. My life had turned a new page. I sat down, staring at my wedding ring. Forgiveness is impossible, I thought. I won't live in lies anymore. The next day, I sent the kids to their grandparents. They didn't need to witness this destruction. They would have to face the truth eventually, but I would shield them for as long as I could. Days passed. Rachel didn't call. She didn't text. And I didn't reach out either. But despite everything, I couldn't forget her. I had loved her. And now, that love felt like a cruel joke. Then one night, my phone rang. It was Rachel's mother. "Jake, son, can you come over? Rachel needs to talk to you." A strange unease settled in my chest. "Where is she?" "She's here. She hasn't said much, but I think you should meet her." Her voice was filled with concern. "She wants to see you to apologize." Doubt crept into my heart. Was Rachel truly remorseful? Or was this just another attempt to save face? I didn't know, but I knew one thing. I couldn't keep running from this. I had to face her. One last time. As I arrived at her mother's house, my heart pounded. When I stepped inside, I saw her, Rachel, sitting there, looking lost and broken. And for the first time, I wasn't sure what I felt anymore. Sitting on the couch, her eyes red, probably from crying, Rachel looked lost. The atmosphere in the room was heavy, the silence suffocating. "Jake, I don't know what to say," she whispered, her voice trembling. I met her gaze, feeling a strange, aching pain rise in my chest. "Rachel, do you think words can erase everything you've done? You've destroyed everything. This family, my trust, everything." Her head dropped as fresh tears slid down her cheeks. "You don't understand, Jake. I love you. I really do. But I was wrong. I was wrong to think I could survive in a marriage where I felt invisible." I clenched my jaw, exhaustion weighing down on me. "If you love me, why did you do this? Why didn't you tell me how you felt? Why did you look for something outside our marriage to fill the void?" Rachel wiped her tears, trying to gather herself. "I know, Jake. I know there's no excuse for what I did. But at that time, I felt neglected, forgotten. And when Chris came along, I felt noticed, cared for, loved again. It was a feeling I didn't realize I had been missing. A storm of emotions raged inside me. Pain, anger, betrayal. No matter how much I wanted to, I couldn't change the past. You say you love me, but love isn't just words, Rachel. It's trust, respect, commitment. And you broke all of it. I stood up, trying to steady my voice. I can't be in a relationship without trust. You've shattered it, and you shattered me. Jake, please, she pleaded, her voice desperate. I'll do anything to fix this. I don't want to lose you. I don't want to lose our family. I shook my head. You already lost it, Rachel. And you did it yourself. With that, I turned and walked out, leaving her sitting there in silent despair.